6, 1 and 4 numbers in the frame so far. As we wait fourth place, 6, 1 and 4, 17 and 12 the race time. 6, 1, 4 and 3, 6, 1, 4 and 3. Wild Cell from Brewery Luck in third place, Blue Skylark, and fourth in number 3, No Magpies. 6, 1, 4 and 3, 2.5 by 2 1/4, 17 and 12 the time. So I think Brewery Luck certainly as it stepped off the rail running to victory there, and Wild Cell careering away in a nice strong performance. Just looking for the run to the first mark. The run home in 10:34.
So 6, 1, 4 and 3. Grey Area is about to get underway with Jason and George. Number 6, Wild Sal is the winner there at $4.20 and $1.40. 1, Brewery Luck at $2. 4, Blue Skylark, $1.90 and 3, No Magpies. 6, 1, 4 and 3 after the fourth at Hillsville. The Quinella paid $28, Exacta $37, Victoria's Trifecta paid $94, and the first four, $1,028, 6143. Early quaddie there today, 5156, $76, and the running double, 5 and 6, has paid $9.30.
On RSN Racing and Sport, it's time for the Grey Areas with Jason Adams and George Ferrugia.
The kid was a human dynamo.
Are you sure you're talking about George?
George of the jungle, friend to you and me.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Grey Areas. My name is Jason Adams. There is lots on. Pink Diamond at Geelong tonight. Plenty going on in Queensland and plenty going on between the ears of the Maltese magician George Ferrugia, who hopefully had a quieter night last night than what he did last Thursday. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, mate. I did have a quiet night. I was switching between watching the Aussies in the cricket and watching the Bulldogs.
How do you do that with one on Amazon, one on Fox?
Yeah, I was inside, so it was just on the one TV. So you miss sort of, between 15 and 30 seconds of live play while you're trying to switch through. But I've got Australia in the cricket going for a fairly sizable multi.
Really?
So I had one eye on that.
So what have been the other leagues?
Indiana Pacers to win Game 3 of the NBA Finals, and Deadly Avenger to win his prelude yesterday. And on that first corner, Jason, when he lobbed third or fourth, fair to say I was a squeaky bum time. But he got through. It was a good run.
Squeaky bum time. Well, that's a good taste tester for the obscure outlay later on in the show. We'll get that from George. And John Henry, good afternoon to you as well. And I know you follow the Pies, but geez, I feel for all the St Kilda supporters out there. They've had it tough for a long period of time and doesn't seem to win for them.
No, that was a big margin last night. Yeah, I had to double check with Phil Tuzell, one of our local. We've got a couple of sainters in here, Jake in our IT and website department and social media, and Tuzi, I think Phil Tuzell. I think they're our only two saints, but they're pretty quiet. They're pretty quiet today.
And then in comes Henry like Vince McMahon.
No.
Yes, for a WrestleMania.
Vinnie Mac, Vincent Kennedy.
Absolutely.
All right, we're also building up to our social event this Sunday. We're going to the Mail Exchange Hotel from midday, and the plan is we'll be there till about 3 o'clock. So we're setting up shop, George, in the Tab area. Is that the right place to be?
Absolutely. I haven't told Cheryl yet. I've got to tell her that
you might want to do that
between
well, you
the
can
hours
bring
of
her
11 and 3.
Yeah,
you can bring her. Everyone's
bring her
welcome,
on.
aren't they, John?
Yeah, absolutely. It's not just a blokey thing.
Yeah, everyone, man,
Anyway,
woman,
if
beast,
there's
whatever.
some ladies listening, they can come along.
I bet a half will be $1.70 chance to be there.
I'm guessing, talking about $1.70 chances, I'm tipping Cheryl's $1.70 chance to find something better to do than come and hang out with us three plus others. But, sorry, Shez, if you're listening, I haven't even let you know yet. I will be preoccupied on Sunday with these two fine gentlemen and Kenny from Cranbourne. And
You'll be there.
I've got a couple of rumours that there's a few others turning up too. So
That's good.
I think it's sort of humbled us a little bit, Jace, that nobody really wants to come and hang out and have a beer with us, which is fantastic. But I can't even get Uncle Mars to come. He
So
won't even come up
importantly for you, is there
freeway.
like a fat-free, sugar-free menu at the Mailer that you can take advantage of this Sunday?
No, you're being facetious. I told you that I do cheat on weekends, mate. So, I'll be having...
It's a good tab.
It's actually a good menu.
And it's a good tab area.
It is a nice big tab area.
Yeah.
Good place to watch the footy too. Geez, we're giving them a wrap.
Yeah.
Do we get a free sort of Palmer or something?
Well, I hope so.
You'd be hoping.
I'll see you walk in and I think you get anything you want, Georgie.
Doubt it.
Anyway, to the racing and Sandown last night. And look, I've been kicking myself a little bit over the past week, seeing winners like fishing sinkers. And now, as of last night, George, I'm back.
You're beach balling them.
The fishing sinkers are now beach balls. It was a good night at the office, but a few of the highlights, I mean, Kenya Mayhem in the first race, he was good, and I looked at his races at Bendigo and he's really desperate to get down to the rail. So he gets to the pink at Sandown, goes dead straight, but he looks to be a greyhound who can really run.
Yeah, I think Kenya Mayhem and Valedictorian you can take out of that race that are going to have nice futures for sure. They're all the young greyhounds on the up. So they will be okay. The second race, Jace, was interesting because of the first split. I just love greyhounds that can get out and go, and then you've got to catch them. Look, she only ran 29.67 overall, Tarawai Therese, but 4.96 early, Jace. Put the writing on the wall with some really nice provincial wins, and I thought her win was good. She'll only get better and stronger.
The way she begins is so sharp. I love watching her. And then, of course, in what was the main event of the night, Field Day, he was another one, like you mentioned Deadly Avenger before, where he was up against it early. He had work to do, but, geez, didn't he take off down the back?
Yeah, look, I've been a little bit of a critic of the greyhound when he's in top company. And, I mean, last night didn't prove me wrong, I don't think. I think he's capable of winning those type of races. He's just in that rung behind the top liners. Is he capable of running 29.10 at Sandown? Yeah, Jace, he is. But is he capable of doing that consistently against really good greyhounds? At this stage, he isn't. But his run last night was very good. You've got to hand him his flowers for sure.
Yep, he was good. And you tipped Werris Bale on Wednesday, and I was with him as well last night. Yeah. Tough watch, mate. Tough watch. He didn't want to win.
All he needs to do is win, and he did. That.
He did.
He made it tough for us. They never left him alone, really, did they? I suppose. No. But anyway, we got the chockies,
and that's a wrap for Sandown last night. And up north, where a lot of the attention surrounded with the State of Origin series, we gave it a plug on Wednesday about how good something different is in any code of racing, and it was a good spectacle. Red Dirt Road won the Stayers, Good Odds Cobber, just faultless in the sprint. And then Blue Blend won the match race, which I think for most people, and particularly the market, was a surprising result.
Sorry, mate, as I sip on my tea. I got to put my hand up. I really like Jungle Johnny in that race, but... And I'm not taking anything away from Blue Blend because he broke his own track record. That's not an easy thing to do. I know it's a new track, and he's a greyhound that had to find his feet. If you look at his early form, Jason, Blue Blend would race well and then have a couple of duck egg races. But I reckon he's just starting to put it together now. But that's not the Jungle Johnny we know. He shouldn't get beaten like that, Jace.
Had every chance.
Yeah, absolutely. Either something's not right. We're only surmising here. He looks like it might be an injury. He can't get beaten like that. He's a highly talented greyhound that is capable of running those times, and he got spanked yesterday. But again, Blue Blend, all he had to do was win, and he did a good job. What about, we keep talking about, actually, he doesn't get spoken about enough, Good Odds Cobber. I reckon when you were talking about the actual elite, the explicits, and I get that, but he's a greyhound.
Is that because he's non-Victorian? Do you think that plays a part?
Yeah, maybe, but he wins everything he competes in, essentially. And he's won, nearly $1 million, and he's just been an
I think he would have tipped over it last night.
He's tipped over it, which is he's just been an incredible greyhound. So, he's got to be one of the leading chances, obviously, for the Brisbane Cup coming up. But there was another good trial talking about Victoria. It doesn't take us long to go back to the Big V. Mapunga Reward went, I think he broke the track record, or at least went close to 29.15.
Yeah. Fastest greyhound ever around the queue, which has only been a few months, clearly, but there's been some good dogs go around.
Spoke to Jeff Britton before the trial, and he said to me, "Look, George, I just really want him to get around safely, and looks like he has, which is fantastic. And his time was elite. So it's really shaping up as a very, very nice Brisbane Cup series, isn't it, Jason? In a couple of weeks' time. So we'll look forward to those heats. We'll deep dive into those, not this Wednesday, but the Wednesday after."
Yep, indeed. And I've spoken about in the past how from a social media point of view, the success that trials have online, particularly when they're well produced, is elite. I tell you what, there's nothing better, and a dog that looks like Mapunga Reward, seeing a good dog go around nude, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
in the pattern of which he's built in white and fawn.
Yeah, he's a beautiful coloured, and he's a beautiful
There's something about it when they go around without a race rug and go quick.
He is. He's a ripper.
One of my dumb questions. Is that all right?
Johnny, you can ask every dumb question in the world. We want to hear it.
Is the comparison between the three main states in Australia and Western Australia, for that matter, or the standard of greyhounds, the actual dogs themselves, is it pretty much fair around the country, or are there a couple of standout or one standout state as far as overall average form of dogs?
We might have a different opinion on this, Jace, but I mean, being parochial, I think that essentially the best are here in Victoria. and then I think New South Wales, and then probably Queensland and WA just behind that.
Okay.
Yeah. Would you agree with that? Yeah.
On scale, yes. That when there's fast ones come from other state, they're
Yeah.
as fast as ours. There's no doubt about that. But I think because the depth is so good here in Victoria, good dogs are racing against good dogs all the time.
Right, yeah.
And they develop class and stand up to the pressure pretty quick. So when they go elsewhere against dogs who don't have that that luxury week to week about building yourself up against the best, then they tend to dominate.
So the depth is probably not there in other states, John, to answer your question. But to Jason's point, he makes a good point. We might not have the best greyhound in this country for 2 years in Victoria. They might be a New South Wales greyhound or a greyhound
I'm
from
talking
Queensland.
generally, generally the
chart,
standard.
I would have
yeah.
to say Victoria.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Okay.
We've got a couple of texts through, Jace. Should we read some of these?
Yep.
G'day, champions. I have taken a multi at Geelong tonight. Race 8, number 7, Matlock, to beat Explicit. Into race 9, number 5, Ethanol Water. Into race 11, number 4, Dear Carla Lou. That's Tim from Kilsyth. We haven't heard from him for a while. We thought we're on the mend, and we had a bit of a breakup. And the Prez boys just missed it. What's the go for Sunday?
Come
The
on, Prez.
might
Where
be
you
in.
been, mate? We're going to the Mail Exchange Hotel from midday this Sunday.
On Spencer Street. Spencer and Burke?
Oh,
Yeah.
How would I know,
Yeah,
John?
I think it is. Yeah, I think it's Spencer and Burke, isn't it?
Yeah, close enough.
Anyway.
It's just off the corner by a couple of metres, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So, Prez, come and join us for a beer. Might even shout you a chicken schnitzel or something like that with gravy. I know that's Jason's go-to.
And if you can't get there right on midday, that's okay. We'll be round till about 3. Is that
We'll
right?
be floating around. Once
Yeah.
we get a
Who
couple
knows?
of...
If we've got momentum, it might be even later.
Henry's one of those guys that he'll say, oh, look, I
Easy.
can't stay too long, and then he'll have a couple of beers, and he's there to
And he's
close.
done.
Easy now. Easy now. Easy. Victoria Shore.
All right. Love the message from you, Tim, about your multi tonight. Geez, he's in for a hell of a ride with Ethanol Water.
Oh, absolutely. Because
She's getting out of the pump.
Yeah. She used to have those runs early, Jason, remember, where she'd sort of lead all the way?
Oh, she was a front running stayer for a period of time, and
Yeah.
then she sort of turned it on her head. Not
She's
that she's
too
been
smart
poor at
now.
doing that, though.
She's too wily.
Not that she's been poor at doing that. Okay, they're on the way to the boxes here for the first leg of the quaddie at Hillsville. These are Mr. Hummer limos. When's the last time you've been in a limo, John?
Years and years and years. One of my... I was going to say
Get it out.
the W word. One of my friends who I think overdid his wedding. That was the last time I was in a limo.
Overdid the wedding.
Overdid it. You
Can
know,
I tell you the last
say
time
no
I've
more.
been in a
too flash.
Can I tell you the last time I've been in it? Magic Round, NRL. We left Suncorp Stadium.
Oh, this sounds good.
And there was no taxis anywhere. And a friend of mine, Simon, who you know, who's mad,
Capital M.
went and knocked on the door of this limo and said, mate, can you just... He got it for like $50 or $60 and taxis were leaving for that. So we were in a limo for the same price as a taxi with these disco lights at the back.
There's no better limo story than Tommy Shelby winning the Golden Easter egg and going somewhere. I don't think he got in, but his camp did.
Oh, absolutely.
Anyway, race 5, Hillsville. Black Appetite is the favourite from the green at $2.60. Let's get on track with Victoria Shore. Fridays at the Ville with Vic. Here she is, race 5.
But the favourite here is Black Appetite to run from box number 6. So as they walk their way along down the side of the track, and we welcome back our radio relay as well, Jason, thank you. Black Appetite on top here heads the market. Back on the Hillsville straight today with a recent run at Warragul. 2 starts ago, win from box 4 here in 19 and 71. And won strongly here in that event as well, getting to the rail. But running from box 6 here today, a PB so far of 19 and 65. So the amber light is switched on as they assemble behind the start. We'll get underway with our loading process very shortly. I thought Super Sealant had a chance in this as well, running from box 4 also. So the amber light continues to flash here at Hillsville as we're moving in for race number 5, thanks to Mr. Hummer Limos. And Black Appetite, the favourite, running from box number 6. And we await the green light, which is not too far away. So as we welcome in our Sky 2 audience now. Just awaiting the green light to come on, won't be too far away. Black Appetite, they're on the favourite, good supporter, Eco Benny in box number 8. Still waiting that green light. It can't be too far away from a start. Just awaiting our loading process to complete. There we go. The green light is on. The favourite Where's Green, Black Appetite. Stand by for a start. They're all in, ready to go, and they're off and chasing. And Black Appetite, a lovely getaway, leaving behind Rico Benny and Nitrous there as well. On the pace there's Silver Coin. Summer Hale galloping up on the inside rail. Across the track there is Super Sealant. At this point now, Lose My Number starting to get the run on the inside, but it's Rico Benny who's cut across, leads the field from Summer Hale. Rico Benny extends towards the line. Nitrous with a late go. Possibly Nitrous in the last hop from Rico Benny. Summer Hale. Photo. Lose My Number was Silver Coin, Super Sealant, Black Appetite and Waikiki Pearl, and the run 19 and 77. Well, we'll head to the judge with that. Just awaiting the judge's decision there. Nitrous was charging late, and let's see where the judge heads. Rico Benny has hung on. Rico Benny from Nitrous, I suspect. Yes, 8 from 7 in the frame. 13.09 the run home, 19 and 74 the time. As we officially wait third and fourth place. Number 2, Lose My Number. And just awaiting fourth place officially here, 8, 7 and 2. Great finish. 8, 7, 2 and 1, 8, 7, 2.
8, 7, 2 and 1, that 4-box combination again, boys. And a $4 kick-off to the quaddie. They're not there yet. I'll clear those in just a tick.
He's a genius, this bloke.
Well, he's in that good a vein of form that whatever we do on Sunday, I'm following him in. There's absolutely no doubt about that.
Or betting in overseas horse races.
Are we shartining, are we?
Number 8, Rico Benny, 14 and $1.40. 7, Nitrous, $2.20. 2, Lose My Number, $6.20 the place. And 1, Summer Hale. The Quinella, $8.50. Exacta, $17. Trifecta, $160. And the first 4, $1,484. Running double 6 and 8, $28. Gents.
Another text has come through, guys. Hey, guys, great pub, the Mail Exchange. We'll see you on Sunday. Damo from Chelsea.
Yes, good on you, Damo.
We got to book a table here. This is getting out of hand, which will be fantastic. What are we talking about next, Jace?
Well, let's get into the Pink Diamond tonight, because we know it is the
Finals.
biggest stage for Victorian-bred greyhounds. We've got some superstars in Queensland at the moment, but still a pretty handy crop going there tonight. So the best races on the card are races 6, 8 and 9. Let's touch on them in order, George. The first of them is the Champion Short Course race. Well, there's some rockets here, but I think there's none better than Sharapova Star. I think she'll win this from box 5.
Yeah, I took a little bit of the 290s, Jay. She's into 220 now. I think she's just in such a rich vein of form. We spoke about how she'd been racing against some of the best greyhounds in the country, including Explicit and these types. She shows really good early speed. I think she'll be incredibly hard to beat. So Sharapova Star for me in that race.
Yep, I don't often get on my high horse, but LAW, as they say, lead and win, lead all the way.
LAW,
She'll win, in my opinion. That's race 6, number 5 at the Cattery tonight. Then we move on to race 8, which is the main event. It's a Pink Diamond Champion Sprinter final, $50,000 going to the winner. And the biggest matchup on the card, Explicit and Matt Locke go at it again for the first time since the Ballarat Cup a couple of weeks ago.
The two rivals, the Hatfields and the McCoys. Is that what they were called, John? Is it the Hatfields and the McCoys, the two big rivals from rivaling families from America? No?
You've got me.
Jesus Christ. I
was about to say, it has got no idea what you're talking about.
All right. I
thought you were about to go Romeo and Juliet or something.
Yeah, well, I nearly went there, but where are you going here? Are we Matt Locke? They've come for him.
I'm with Matt Locke. Yeah, I'm not comfortable about it at all because Explicit gets a clear run. So for Matt Locke, in his point of view, he's got to get across straight away. Straight away.
Are you concerned about the fact that Bebop Jazz can break 5 at Sandown when she's at her... So, I mean, she can pile the pressure on early if Explicit does what he can do and miss the kick half a length?
No, my thoughts are probably in Matt Locke producing his best as opposed to Explicit getting any sort of drama because he's got greyhounds to the middle part of the track. My Name's Eden, Jetstream Icon, who will use the track. There's going to be plenty of room down towards the inside for Explicit to run into. So as we saw in that Ballarat Cup, Matt Locke could not cross him, and that was the end of the race. So he's got to do that tonight. But, I mean, I'm only really separating my thoughts based on the quotes they are in the market.
What a race, though, Jason.
It's a belt.
I mean, wouldn't you just love to see them just go head and head down the back, like just, at their absolute best. So really looking forward to that. Race 9, Jace. Lanfranco is a favourite, but he's hanging on by a thread in terms of favouritism.
He won't start favourite.
Ethanol Water is the one that they've come for off box 5,
Kilsyth,
obviously, who's won plenty of group races in her time. I'm keen to have a bit of a play on Alice Babe. I know if Ethanol Water gets ahead of her in volume and these type of greyhounds, that they're hard to run down. But Alice Babe races well here at Geelong, and I thought her heat win was good. And she's almost each way odds now, Jason. I'm just keen to have a play there with the way the race has panned out. So really good prize money for those 3 races, but they're not the only 3 races, Jace. There's 12 races, and I tweeted something earlier. There's over $560,000 in prize money today, and as I said in the tweet, what I like about it is that there is a portion of that, going to the breeders. So you don't even have to own the dog. There's breeders. Even if you run last, I still think they get a bonus. They still get like a $250 bonus if they come last in any of these races. If you add on what we raced for in the heat, it's a series that probably generates over $700,000 in prize money. And people might say, well, yeah, okay, but on Phoenix Night, they're giving away $1 million for a race. But a lot of these greyhounds don't get an opportunity to race for this type of money. There's tier 3 dogs, there's younger type of greyhounds.
Maidens.
Yeah, maidens. I mean, this is big money for greyhounds and different owners coming in and coming all together on a great night. I've always loved the concept. I know the prize money had to be slashed a little bit when the turnover was down a year or so ago. Hopefully we get it back up to the level it was. But even if it isn't, I think as a spectacle and the opportunities that arise for greyhounds that might not be the explicits of the world, I think is fantastic.
It's a great celebration for racing in Victoria, and I don't think you own any dogs a part of the finals tonight, George. Have you bred any?
Yeah, there's 3.
Is there? So we could get a tab covered on Sunday.
Yeah, well, I would have said yes, but I've got another text coming through. Hi, fellas. Maybe we put a pineapple and do a punters club. See you Sunday, Kenny. Pineapple, John? Yeah.
What do you like at running punters clubs, John? Not good by the look on his face.
You know what? He's a little
pineapple. So that's $50 he's talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
So okay.
What was the old 20 was the lobster. Pineapple was the
and the tenner, the Peter McKenna.
Okay, and the old the grey nurse was the $100 note.
Grey ghost, yeah.
The grey ghost, but I don't think I've got a nickname for the new 100. It's green.
Johnny wants the $5, the Lady Godiva, but we are doing a punters club.
Lock it in.
Yeah. So no, really, really, really good meeting. I know a couple of people who. There's a greyhound that I sold to a guy. It's his first greyhound, and he's in one of these races. And the trainer, Paul Radstock, I don't think has been in a pink diamond as well. So they're really excited by the whole thing.
So what's the owner's story? Why is he involved for the first time now?
He is a breeder of domestic dogs, and I think follows pedigrees, and was always intrigued about getting involved in greyhounds and bought in. And he's having a little bit of fun with her. I think her name's Candy Stride. I think she's in race 4. Race 4, number 3, Candy Stride. She's at $26. So if she wins, it's a little bit of an upset. But first prize is $20,000 to the winner. I mean, it's good prize money for them, and good luck to everyone involved.
Yeah, big thrill, 100%. And just on that champion distance race, the 9th on the card there at Geelong, I like the chances of Ethanol Volume. Horses for courses, he is one. And look, George, with these 660, 680 metre distances, it doesn't sound a lot more, does it, to 700? But I think the nature of which the tracks play, as in obviously 700, you're on a 2-turn, 660, 680, you're on a big circle. That just suits Ethanol Volume to the ground.
Yeah.
So I think you'll win that
Many
race
would
tonight.
suggest that it would be just as hard as the runners of 700 because, it's
but
a long.
But for one like him that runs wide, he loses a lot of ground on 2 turns as well.
Yeah. So then the track comes into play, and he's strong enough to run it out. And it's a good little race, actually. But no, kick off at 7 o'clock, Jace, and the last race is until 10:39. So you'll be on Sky?
I'll be on Sky tonight, yep, before every race at Geelong. And if you do want Nathan Rooney's, the guru, take on a handful of those races tonight, head to the GRV website for that. And if you can get along to the Cattery, make sure you do, because it's a good viewing track. Not all tracks are, but this one's a beauty. So it's going to be cold. Rug up, Georgie. I know you weren't pleased with the 0-degree temperature this morning before you jumped into the sauna.
Yeah.
But you'll have a good night out.
Yeah, it sort of goes against what a sauna is, isn't it? Had to fire up. No, I think the marquees, are they sold out there? I think they're having a really good crowd there. So, yeah, good luck and best of luck to all connections there tonight.
All right, following tonight's Pink Diamond event, we then roll on to the Meadows tomorrow night, which is a pretty decent card. I don't mind race 6. Paul Barton is absolutely flying. I'm not sure about his draw, but he's humming at the moment. We've got race 9 where Craig McRae's greyhound in Reaper steps out, and then Delicate in
I'm
last.
against him too.
A handful of highlights there at the Meadows tomorrow.
Nothing that Craig McRae touches hasn't turned to gold more recently, so I don't know how I'm going to beat him. Yeah, it's a fair meeting. The first race is an interesting one, Jace. That Pack and Power that we spoke about on Wednesday that ran 29.85 at the Meadows has drawn box 3 in race 1. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes. The two that I like, Jace, race 3, number 1, Vista Weird. Have you seen this greyhound race? He's got a little bit of the blue blends about him. I'm not saying he's in that class, but he's got a PB of 29.85 at the Meadows. He can really run this greyhound. He can also do things wrong. But I do like him tomorrow because at his best, I think he can split around the, say, 5.12, 5.13 mark, and that might be enough to hold a really forward position. And from that point, I think he'll be hard to beat. I think it'll be a race-to-race double for Team Daly. I like Urana Cobalt in race 4 as well, Jace. Race 4, number 1. I thought his win against Amaron Tommy 2 starts ago was good. He showed good speed. His box draws have been off the track, so his form's a bit patchy, but I think back off the red in this race, I think he'll be hard to beat. Race 4, number 1.
And the other one was?
Race 3, number 1, Vista Weird. Race 4, number 1, Urana Cobalt.
Magnificent. There's George's highlights from the Meadows tomorrow night. Now, what about your obscure outlay? We've had some hard luck stories. It's been some nail biters of recent time.
Yes.
How are you tackling the obscure outlay this week?
We're doing a footy quaddie here.
The footy quad?
Well, sort of. We're picking 4 winners. Blanc. Geelong to beat Essendon. I think that's fair. I think Freo will beat North. I think that's fair. Port will beat Melbourne. Matty Nevitt's not in the building, is he? He'll come and punch me in a minute. And Carlton will beat the Eagles. And we're getting about $3.05. You think that sounds all right, Jace?
Good enough for me, mate.
You've
I'll take you
you've
one.
left your boys out against Adelaide.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect tonight, to be honest. We played well against Bulldogs last week, but Adelaide, they're humming at the moment, so I'm a little bit concerned.
Watching a video a couple of nights ago where Dean Wallace got in trouble for taking a couple of footy quads back in the mid-2000s.
Did he?
Does that ring a bell?
Did he?
No.
There was a couple of other football players that took a couple of first goal scorers that got in trouble, didn't they? Yeah. Anyway.
How's the intelligence?
We move on.
Anyway, we move on. Hey, speaking of obscure outlays, the World Cup of darts is on at the moment.
How are you travelling?
I think Wales are a bit of value to win it at $6. Johnny Clayton and German Price.
Can you
England
take
be
them each
hard
way?
to beat? No idea. England be hard to beat, but I think Wales represents some value. And hey, there's a jockey I saw during the week, Zach Purton, I think it might have been.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
He's a gun darts player.
He's playing in a pretty high-level comp on Sunday, I think.
Yeah, he's taking on the WDC champion or...
Well, that might be a little segment that we do next week. Like Danny Gibbons, isn't he a wrestler? Like a greyhound trainer / wrestler?
Yep.
All right, so that might be a good little sort of segue for greyhound trainers. All we know about them is they're good greyhound trainers, but what other skill did they have?
Angela Langton's a scientist.
Yeah, a very good one. Yeah, dealing with cancer and
Tells you
some
what the
serious
pizzas.
stuff. Tells you what the pizza... Oh, that's the other thing we had to mention. Disappointing that Scalacci scratched tonight. We don't get to see him run in the veterans race, but hopefully he's okay. Surely he's nearing the end, I suppose, in terms of his race career. I'm not saying that's going to happen next week, but a stud career beckons for Scalacci.
That it does. All right, time for the Ferrugia Files. Now, we know George is one of the more prominent owners in the game worldwide. Hasn't found a winner in the past couple of weeks, as far as I'm aware, George. So let's go through what is a short list of the Ferrugia Files coming up over the next few days. Tomorrow night at the Meadows, race 1, number 7, Billy Bust Up.
No, not against that field, not from that draw. Place best.
Race 9 at the Meadows tomorrow night, number 8, Set to Sizzle.
Well, I'm against Craig McRae. What hope have I got? So, yeah, Set to Sizzle's we speak about Lanfranco. He's got the Lanfrancos about
Does he?
him. Oh, sleeps with the light on.
All right, to Hillsville on Sunday, the last, race 12, number 1, Ringwald.
Yeah, each way chance for sure from that draw.
Rockhampton on Sunday, race 11, number 2, Coronation Day. He's got the giggles this
I
bloke.
get bagged about this dog. I
Why?
tell you. Thank God we'll all be done from the mail exchange by the time he goes around. Well, because we keep tipping him and he keeps running second. So place again for him, yeah.
All right, that's the Ferrugia Files. Not,
Oh,
many-
it's
not,
not, we've got Valenzuela in on Sunday. The fields
who
on
owns
Monday.
him? Why can't I find this dog?
No, the fields just came out. I haven't
Okay.
looked at. He's got box 6, but yeah, hopefully he goes okay.
All right.
Can't get a winner, Jace. Gold Scotch is the only one that won for me last
Where's
week.
Groovebird?
Her and Shake and Bake have just had a couple of injury concerns. Yeah, so.
And what's Johnny Football doing after the silver collar last Sunday?
Well, he'd be sitting down with one of those drinks with an umbrella in it, the poor bugger, because he got a bit tired, so he's having a couple of weeks off. Yeah.
Magnificent. All right, I think today marks 6 months until the Phoenix as well.
Yes,
so
we did that. Go on to, is it the Meadows website?
go onto the Meadows website. I'll have to get it on the GRV website over the next few days, but explain the concept that we've been through.
So Corey Smith rang us, us supposed experts, about 10 of us, and put us in a draft lottery, and we all got picked 1 to 10.
1 to 8.
1 to 8, sorry, and we got to pick our greyhound. I think I was third pick, but if you were first pick, obviously, you had a fresh board and you could pick whoever you like. And we went one by one, and of greyhounds that we would pick for the Phoenix, not if it were to race now, but looking at it in 6 months' time. Were you surprised by a few of the
Not
selections?
really. I was
No.
surprised that James Vandermark wanted to change his selection, which I thought was off limits once you've landed on one. But anyway, we'll go through them. Pick
And
one.
we got an insight into his sleeping patterns because it was his pick at 8 o'clock and he was already asleep the night before.
And then he's sending us through his pick from kindergarten with all his kids screaming in the background.
This is what happens when you have a low-protein diet. I keep telling him. The Vegetarian Express.
The V8 vegetarian. All right, let's just go through these runners. Pick one went to Mr. Nathalia, Daniel Hibbert. He went with Gold Force.
Interesting.
It's hard to argue with after what he's done in his Ballarat Cup. Pick two was Mitch Abayas, Mapunga Flyer.
Good young greyhound who went almost as quick as Explicit in a heat of in a Ballarat Cup race.
And won last night at Warrnambool too.
Very
so he'll
nice.
be there at the Bull next week. Georgie Ferrugia, pick three, Deadly Avenger.
I just went the straight bat, Jace. Just nice,
Boring.
You know what? When I picked it, I said, "You watch, they're going to bag me here." But mate, he's just tired and true. He's just a star.
Nathan Rooney, pick four, went with Dashing Slay.
Yeah. She's a star too.
Ethan Christian had pick five, went with Saquon.
Yeah, I mean, early doors, you're relying on him continually going through the grades. But from what we've seen so far, how could you go wrong?
Yours truly, pick six, I went with Tribeca. What do you
Yeah,
think about
that was the one that sort of raised the eyebrows a little bit.
Why?
Well,
Had five of the best out of the way already.
yeah, he wouldn't have been my next choice. But anyway.
All right.
Prove me wrong.
I just think he's got. He can run like the wind.
Yeah.
His habits aren't great, but they're habits that can be fixed with experience. So that's why I went with him. Pick seven, Mark to Market, was courtesy of James Vandermark.
Fast dog from New South Wales.
Don't know a lot about him.
Interesting.
And then pick eight, speaking of line and length, top of off, straight bats, Corey Smith,
Went explicit.
explicit, the reigning champ. Fair dinkum.
Hey, you're allowed to be boring.
You are, and who's to say he won't be there and flying in the same manner of which he is at the moment.
We'll see everyone Sunday.
Yes,
Well,
we'll see everyone Sunday.
Have they got a seniors area there? Oh, I'll be in the seniors
No,
area.
you'll
I'll let
be with
you,
us.
you young blokes will be going
No,
too hard,
you'll
too
be
hard
getting
for
The
old
seniors
Johnny.
price on the whole tab. Does it
I'll-
work like that
You
down
have
there?
to come. You have to help me carry the limoncello.
I'll be over in the seniors area.
Have a good weekend, everyone.
Magnificent. For those attending the Mail Exchange on Sunday, we'll see you then from midday onwards until about 3. We very much look forward to that.
Till about
In the
3.
meantime, that's a wrap for Grey Areas on this Friday. We'll be back on Wednesday. And John, let's head to race 6 at
Yes.
Hillsville, followed by the Friday Feast with the great Andrew Bensley.
And 60 cents. So as the ambilight is switched on, we're getting set here for the